that this meeting has been duly called and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to our last board meeting of the 25-26 school year. We're going to start tonight with an invocation by Pastor Greg Garcia from Cross City Church.
Thank you. Let's pray. Father God, we just come tonight, Lord, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to just stand here, Lord. And as we open up this board meeting, God, I think back to my time growing up here in HEB ISD. Father God, I think about the times that I've been able to work here for the district, and now my daughter being here at the district. I'm so grateful, Father, for a district that raises up men and women, Lord, with integrity, Father God, just with an incredible opportunity, Lord, to go and to serve their communities. And Father, I'm grateful, Lord, that you continue to do that time and time again. So Father, for all of our teachers, for all of our auxiliary workers, for our board members here, Father, we're just so grateful for how you're blessing them, how you're guiding them and leading them. Continue to do this, Father. Continue to make HEB an incredible place to live and to send our kids to school, Father. We know that we need your help in this. So bless tonight. Bless the accomplishments of these students. And we thank you and we love you. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Garcia. Next, we will have our Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, we have two students from Oakwood Terrace Elementary. Tonight, we have Hermant Acharia and Patella Afunga, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American and Texas flags. Are they here this evening? Come on up. Yeah. Just go ahead and stand right here, and we'll follow you. The American flag's right here behind the screen, and the Texas flag's on the other side.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you. Before you run off, we got something for you. So, guys, stay up here. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Cole.
All right, while he's giving them their certificates, I'd like to tell you a little bit about each of these students. Is it Hemant? Hemant has been a valued part of our school family since kindergarten, and through the years, he has shown himself to be a true role model in every way. He demonstrates excellent attendance, strong work habits, and respectful behavior that set an example for others. As a quiet leader, he leads not through words, but through his consistent actions, always willing to help classmates and teachers, and always treating others with kindness. He is a great friend who makes those around him feel included and supported. He is a shining example of what it means to follow school expectations while showing compassion and respect for everyone in the school community. And then we have Patella, is a sixth grade student who has been part of the Oakwood Terrace Elementary community since pre-K. And throughout her time here, she has consistently set a shining example for her peers. She demonstrates excellent attendance, a strong work ethic, and outstanding behavior both in and out of the classroom. She's a natural leader and not only takes initiative in her own learning, but also lends a helping hand to teachers and classmates whenever needed. Whether guiding others through challenges or stepping up to lead around campus, she's a positive role model whose actions reflect dedication, responsibility, and kindness.
And parents, don't be shy. If you want to come up and get a picture, please jump in. Thank you. All right, item 3.01. At the April 27th board meeting, the Board of Trustees established a committee to present to the full board a slate of officers for the 2026-27 school year. At this time, I'd like to call upon Chris Brown, committee chair, to present the slate of officers and make a motion.
Thank you, Matt. So just as a reminder, we changed the procedure for this a couple of years ago. So before this committee was put together, we did ask the board what positions they were willing and able to serve in. And in fact, I'll give you some of the additional information that Becky and John and I looked at when sitting down to talk about this. This is the HEBISD board officers for the last 20 years. It's kind of a historical look at the last 20 years of officers. And what stuck out to us, and Matt, you should be commended. You are now the longest serving president in the last 20 years history of the board. So thank you for your service. Because of that, we're thinking you roll off, and Julie move up one to president, I move up to vice president, and Becky move into secretary. That's not an indictment of anybody's work, but more of an appreciation for the work you've done, but also recognition that the board historically has done a good job of rolling over officer positions. And in fact, what we talked about as a committee is we may want to look at our board operating procedures and look at some term limits on officer positions in the future. But wanted to bring this to the board. Nobody else has talked about this other than the three of us. So if you no longer want to serve in the position that you're being asked to serve, or if we have somehow gotten this wrong, it's time for a discussion. But for our recommendation, we're bringing forward President Julie, Vice President me, and Secretary Becky.
All right. Any discussion?
Still didn't get to vote.
Well, this is where you vote.
Do it
This
right
is where you have the chance to say you want something different, or,
No, I'm good.
okay. Because we're about to vote on it.
Chosen, it's kind of embarrassing if I said, well, I don't want you, and I don't want you, and I don't want you.
We're all big boys and girls. If there's a difference, you can
Big
say
boys
it
and
now.
girls should have been done earlier.
Okay.
I talked to 3 other districts, they don't do anything.
Well, they're breaking the Open Meetings Act. We have a committee, 3 people to talk about it, and then bring it to the board. So if there's an opportunity for a discussion, it's not right now.
I mean, the way,
I would like a procedure where everyone gets to vote on who's president, vice president, secretary.
We're about to vote.
I mean, that's the way some boards do it, is they'll just say, okay, I'll take a nomination for president, and they do it all in the open board meeting, and that's just how they do it. And someone nominates someone to be president, they vote, they either get it or they don't, and then they go down the ballot from there.
Can we do it that way?
We could, but that's not our board operating procedure right
If you
now.
want to amend the recommendation, you have the opportunity to do that now. So what you're asking for is you have the ability to do.
I would like to consider that.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to consider where we vote in open session.
We are voting in open session.
We're about to vote on them, but right now is your opportunity to say, I think we should change those 3 names to these 3 names, or change this name to that name.
I'm sure I disagree.
Okay.
I'm just going to add one comment to this, Andy, because I sit on a board that does that, and it lends itself to hostile takeovers. I'm just going to say and go on record that I'm fairly pleased with the way we do things, because I've seen it in action done the other way.
You're throwing a blanket over everybody. You're throwing a blanket over everybody that does it that way?
One of the
Just because you've seen one doesn't mean everybody.
True. Agreed. One of the things I think that is quite interesting about the way we do the committee process, with it being a randomized and then the committee determines it, is that it tends to lean itself to not being a situation where an open discussion, it gets taken over by a group of people that come and predetermine what they're doing.
So now's my opportunity, if I wanted Fred to be president, I could say, I'm voting for Fred.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could make a motion just to say, instead of Julie being president, I nominate Fred to be president. Then we'd vote on that, and it would either pass or it wouldn't. And then if it didn't pass, then we'd go back to the original nominations.
Which is different.
Okay. So you made a motion, right? Is there a second?
Second?
Is everybody okay with what they were nominated as? Okay. All right, so I have a motion and a second. The motion is for Julie Cole to be board president, Chris Brown to be board vice president, and Becky Ewert to be board secretary. Please vote.
Chris, show voting. There you go.
Sorry about that.
Has it not come up for you, Andy? You gotta click that little button that says show voting.
All right, and that motion passes. All right, so this time we need to rearrange our seating up here so everyone can get in their new seats. So do we need to log out the people who are moving? Okay. Just sign out. Just sign out up here so they can log you back in. Yeah, I think if you sign out there, then she can, no.
Yours are on.
By Joe? I don't know those guys. Just kidding. Problematic.
Could be.
That's what I just said. Unintended consequences.
Well, we don't want to talk about it now? Okay.
I don't think the nun lock is on. Um,
So, what we want to do. Exactly. If I felt really strongly that I thought you should say, I would serve whatever.
Okay, I know we have a big crowd. I'm sorry that that took us a little longer than we had anticipated. Let me see where we are at. Okay. Tonight, the Board of Trustees is meeting in its regularly scheduled monthly meeting to officially act on the items included on the posted agenda. The board welcomes and values input from our community. A single open forum is provided during tonight's meeting to allow the public an opportunity to address the board. During this time, individuals may share comments or requests related to both agenda and non-agenda items. Those addressing the board are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes per meeting. The speaker should identify their name, group affiliation, if any, and make a brief presentation with the identified solution if one is sought. Remarks should be addressed to the board as a whole. Oral presentations may not include charges against any employee or board member by name. It's my responsibility to determine if a person addressing the board has attempted to resolve the concern informally or through the district's complaint policies. If not, the speaker will be directed to follow the appropriate policy. The board requests that all presentations be made in a courteous, respectful, and professional manner and asks that speakers monitor their own behavior. If you wish to speak during the open forum, please fill out one of the cards located in the table in the entry hall. So before we get to the open forum, we will do a review of our board activity chart. And I will start with, Mr. Cargill, do you have anything to share tonight? Okay, Mr. Campos?
This time of year is obviously very busy for all of us, so I speak on behalf of many of us. So I'm just going to run through a list and try to highlight different things that I see as opposed to what I did. First off, we had our very last Trojan Talk. I just want to say that I am extremely impressed with the curriculum that's put together by the assistant principals, and the opportunity for us to get an opportunity to see what that looks like in a classroom. Vips luncheon. Good job, Ringmaster Joe. That was excellent. And I also want to say that I enjoyed seeing the student ambassadors, and the Trinity Cheer did a really great job. Probably one of the highlight reels, which was something that was my very first time to jump into, was I got to see the amazing shake over at Veridian. And 25 students get judged on how well they can speak. I got tag team with Dr. Blue. Let me just say, I have never seen elementary students who could speak in public so elegantly. And they go through all these different stations.
Third graders.
And it was phenomenal. I was judging the station where they were on the red carpet. They came down the red carpet, they came to a lectern, and they had to give a speech in less than a minute. I could tell you as an adult, I'm not sure I could have done that, and watching these kids do it was absolutely amazing. The tennis naming. I'm very pleased that we have the opportunity to really acknowledge all the amazing staff and coaches that have been through here and have done amazing things for kids. Just listening to the testimonies of our alumni students coming back and the life change that teachers and coaches make in this district is absolutely amazing. I got to attend the proms, really got to spend some one-on-one time with staff. And then last but not least, because other people will talk about other things, Chamber of Commerce. We got to see 3 people in HEB get recognized. And I want to call out both Katina as well as Brandon went through the Leadership HEB. That speaks a lot for our community to have our executive staff be involved in that. And then at the very end of it, our own Dr. Joe got awarded the Distinguished Alumni Award. And that's just, again, it shows the cooperation and the unity that we have with our community. More things can be said. Love the elementary honor choir. I just enjoy participating in that. And I just love that we get all our kids together. But this is a great time with lots of activities happening, and it's just wonderful to be able to cheerlead some of the stuff that's happening.
Mr. Brown?
Nothing to add. Well said, Fred.
Okay. Ms. Ewart?
I just want to take an opportunity to thank the district on behalf of the retired teachers. HEB has a very active retired teachers group, and we had our last meeting of the year over at the Auxiliary Center, and it was catered by the HEB catering staff, and they did a fabulous job. And Josh Miner spoke and gave all of the information. I just want to say I really, really appreciate the fact that the administrative staff is always willing to come out and give information to the public. And thank you to this district for allowing the retired teachers who may be retired but are still very concerned and active in this district a place to meet and congregate each month. Thank you.
I had a few VPA things that I went to. I got to go to both high schools for their spring band concerts. So those were both very well done. And also, a fun thing I got to go to was the Arbor Creek. They did their final show of the year. So it was great to see all those, 5th and 6th graders up there. They've made
band.
so much progress since the beginning of the year that it was great to see those kids.
Yeah,
So.
that's great. Thank you. I don't have too much to add. In addition to the Moses Ruiz Tennis Complex naming ceremony at Trinity, I also attended the Tim Edwards Raider Bowl naming ceremony, and that was so well attended by alumni. I would venture to say there was maybe 100 or so people there, including Dale Hansen. Spoke to the crowd along with Mr. Edwards himself. So it was a really, really special evening. I also attended the orchestra concert for probably 5 years running. The orchestra concert has been on a Monday night board meeting and couldn't go. So it was really special to get to go to the Bell Orchestra concert. Also attended the what's the word I'm looking for? The reception for next year's new cohort of LEAD HEB. Want to give a special shout out to the HR team that puts that together every year so that our folks in this district can learn about how to be the best possible leaders and be ready for their next job. And I had a whole other list, but we have this new system, and I accidentally just deleted it, so I can't remember it off the top of my head. All of this movement threw me off. Okay. Dr. Harrington, do you have anything you'd like to add this evening?
The one thing I will add, it's been so busy that there was another event, the JWAC banquet, the Global Young Leaders. And so I know we have one being honored tonight, but both JWACs were honored that night as being two of the top 10 JWACs in the entire area. So that was really good. But it was one of those nights, somebody had said, hey, are you going to such and such? And I'm going to this because we were quadruple booked that night.
It's banquet season. We've been eating a lot of chicken.
Yeah. So just an exciting time. And then just a reminder, the 24th, we've got graduation. So at the Dickey Center, be there, and we're going to walk a whole bunch of kids across the stage. So that'll be fun.
Very exciting. Thank you. Was there any clarifications for board members' questions?
None at this time.
Okay. So that takes us to the introduction of our student ambassadors. I want to say a quick thanks to our greeters this evening. You may have noticed 3 students this evening in green blazers as you entered tonight. The students are part of the HEB-ISD Student Ambassador Program, which is a select group of students chosen through an application and interview process to be the face of our district. They are trained to assist with public relations and community services and given the opportunity to positively promote HEB-ISD while developing leadership skills. Tonight, we have Javier Alvarez, Caden Cumberledge, and Catherine Ochoa, all of whom are seniors at LD Bell High School. So we take this opportunity as a board to hear their voice by asking them a question. So this month we're asking, as you all know, one of our core principles in our school district is continuous improvement. One tool of continuous improvement is collecting pluses, things that went well, and deltas, things that we could do to improve, at the end of each action or event. Each of you are seniors, and you'll be graduating in less than a week. So now would be a great time to share with us your plus and delta for your time as a student in HEB-ISD.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Javier Alvarez. I go to LD Bell High School, and I'm so excited to be graduating this weekend. And for my plus and deltas, I will begin with pluses. I love starting with the good, and I'll talk about the investment in the fine arts that HEB promotes year after year. I myself am involved in the LD Bell Orchestra. I started at North Euless Elementary with Suzuki Strings in violin, then I went on to Central Junior High. I was in the orchestra there, and now I'm proudly the president of the LD Bell Symphony. Thank you, Ms. Julie Cole, for attending. That was a great concert. And I love how HEB continues to pour funds and energy and just everything support into the fine arts, both orchestra, my band peers, choir, theater, everything. I got to attend an excellent choir show today at LD Bell. And it just shows how HEB not only cares about our sports, our academics, but also the fine arts, which are often overlooked in many other places, but are continued to be supported here in HEB, which I think is fantastic. And I am a proud soon-to-be alumni, and it was great. It was a great experience. I will continue playing violin, and I'm thankful that I got to be part of it. For the delta, it's not really a negative, but I think a delta in our district is actually the LD Bell and Trinity rivalry. I think that's maybe a frowned upon opinion, but while I think it's fun, I love going to the Bell Trinity game. I think it's fun for athletics here and there, but I think it becomes an issue when it seeps into the academic environment, when we hear teachers competing in classes between Bell and Trinity's scores on exams or otherwise. We're, yes, we say we're Bell Blue, Trinity Red, but really we're HB Green, and we should all be working together for a community and to excel all together. I don't think we should really be competing, in classrooms and scores, because we are all students trying to learn and grow into adults. So let's leave the competition on the field or on the track, on the court, and just grow as learners and leaders all together, wearing green in Junction. So thank you for being here, and thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caden Cumberledge, and I'm a senior at LD Bell High School. So starting off, I'm going to be talking about my delta. So first, I believe that the GPA system is a delta for me. I think that sometimes it is a little bit unfair for us, considering that a student who earns a 93 earns the same point average as a student who earns a 97. I think that it's really hard because it shows that it's a very noticeable difference in performance, so it just is a little bit unfair. And it is also about how students who perform in like the fine arts and athletics, it is very hard for them to want to pursue those types of things because it is a 4.0, so it brings down their GPA. So that's another thing. I think that a more balanced GPA would better reflect the students' effort and their academic achievement as well as in sports and fine arts. So moving on to my plus, I had a lot of these, so it was really hard to choose, but I'm going to start with diversity. It is a really big one for me. I attended Central Junior High, and that's where I finally started to realize how diverse HEB actually is. And it really helps students be prepared for the real world, and it gives them that environment to grow and just meet other perspectives, other cultures. So I think it just gives those students where they can learn from each other and feel accepted to be who they are. I think that the teachers and staff do a wonderful job of giving us that opportunity of welcoming those cultures and backgrounds. So I think that's a great thing. And overall, HEB is just such an amazing district, and I'm so lucky to have been a part of it for 13 years. And yeah, thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. So one area I believe our district could improve on is the recognition of students in the top 10. Being salutatorian this year, I understand the work and effort that goes into being in the top 10 and how many countless hours that we spend both studying but also managing our extracurriculars. And while I appreciate the opportunities our district provides, I think there is room to place a stronger emphasis on celebrating academic achievement. So I came up with a few options that I thought would be pretty cool. So I thought it'd be nice to feature top students on district and social media pages. My second option would be hosting a luncheon with the principal or the superintendent. Hello, Dr. Joe. Option 3 would be announcing the students to the school through a banner, because some of us don't know who we are until we get to graduation. And option 4, providing reserved graduation seating for top 10 families. And by strengthening recognition for academic achievement, the district can inspire future students to strive for excellence and show that academic success is just as worthy of celebration as any other accomplishment. And for my plus, I have to say being a student in the IB program, which has had a profoundly positive impact on both my academic and personal growth. Over the past 2 years, it has challenged me to think critically, manage my time effectively, and push myself beyond what I thought I was capable of. Through its rigorous coursework and high expectations, I've developed the discipline and resilience needed to handle anything, including high workloads and real-world challenges. I've also been fortunate to have the best teachers. They know so much, it's truly incredible. Supportive classmates, and an amazing IB coordinator, Ms. Garcia, who has consistently guided and encouraged students throughout the program. Because of the standards and skills that IB has instilled in me, I feel especially prepared to transition into Rice University with confidence. The program has shaped not only how I learn, but how I approach situations with persistence and determination. And I just want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you all today. Like Hayden, I've also been here for 13 years in the school district, and I feel so honored to have served these past couple years. So thank you so much.
It's very easy to see why we are so proud of the kids in that program. Thank you so much. Next up, we have teacher appreciation. Ms. Hollander.
Absolutely. Every year, about this time in May, we get the opportunity to celebrate our teachers and our staff overall. And normally I get up here and I might share a few words from a proclamation. But this year, I decided to do things a little bit different, and I thought maybe you guys would like to see a video that shows some of our teachers in action. So, can you start that? Okay. let me follow up by saying that I do believe we have the best of the best. And I know that everyone in this room has experienced some of the best teachers ever. And so we want to thank them, and we want just to make sure that they know how much they're appreciated, not only by the students in the classrooms, but by the leadership. So thank you for that.
I agree completely, and we have a few in the room. So if you are a teacher in this district, please stand. And if you're already standing, just wave your hand so we can see who you are. We know you are the best of the best, and we're so proud to have you here in our district, and we appreciate you, not just during Teacher Appreciation Month, but every single day. Thank you. Okay, next we have Rotary four-way test. Again, Mrs. Hollander.
Absolutely. I happen to be a Rotarian. I know Dr. Harrington is a Rotarian. Dave Nielsen is one. Do we have any other Rotarians in the room? Okay, I wanted to make sure. We have the privilege of hearing high school students provide a speech, and it's called the Rotary Four-Way Test Speech. And so what I would like to do, we had a wonderful young man from our district who not only won the local contest, but he went on and won the whole regional contest. And so we have the opportunity to hear his speech tonight. And also, I would like his debate coach, Sarah Zink, to come up, and she's going to share a little bit about Grant with you, and then you get to hear Grant give his speech.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Zink. I'm the current debate coach at Trinity High School, and there's nothing a teacher likes more than bragging about their students, and this young man is no exception. What started as a class assignment to write a speech became a mission, and every time Grant presented the speech, he got first place. And in all my time, I have never coached a student who gets that much better every time he speaks. This year, within 3 tournaments, he qualified for a national tournament. So wow. It is with great honor that I present to you Mr. Grant Pittman.
That's a very high bar. Okay, here we go. I believe that children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. This quote by Whitney Houston could not be more true. The youth, the next generation, we see news articles about them every day. Good things, bad things, but one thing that never changes is that the future of our country is in their hands. This leads us to the question, what does the Rotary Four-Way Test mean to me? To me, it's applying its principles onto organizations and activities that will benefit our futures, especially those impacting young people. So today, I will be implementing the four-way test onto something that means a lot to me, youth sports. I started playing baseball with the squeaky first base with my dad every day for as long as I could remember. Basketball every winter, B-team, starting quarterback, the list goes on. So let's step up to bat and begin the first leg of our test. Is it the truth? Well, I believe that there are 2 ways that I could go about this. The first is quite literally, is it the truth? Well, there's a saying in sports that I think will help us out. That quote is "ball don't lie." This quote is often used whenever someone feels that they have been wrong during the game and they let the ball decide because, as I've just said, ball don't lie. This shows a natural inclination of truth in sports. There are set rules and regulations which must be followed. There's no cheating the game. So in case 1, it's true. Now the second way we could go about this is, will it truly improve the things that we think, say, and do? And in my own experience, I know I might not have said the nicest things during my first grade basketball games, but it encourages us to be truthful to others, build each other up, have hard work and dedication, and it's a home run for this leg of the test. Now, the second leg, is it fair to all concerned? This section gets a little dicey because whenever I was in the heat of my 5th grade championship basketball game and the other team obviously cheated and we lost, I wouldn't say it's very fair. But let's really look at youth sports. Everyone has the same opportunity. LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Roberto Clemente, Adolis Garcia all came from unfortunate situations, but through skill, they were able to make it to the big leagues. If I'm being honest, I wish youth sports were just a little bit less fair so that I could make it. I mean, that was my dream as a little boy, but that's just it. It doesn't matter who I am, where I came from. I can't bribe my way to be a pro. You have to earn it, and everyone has that opportunity. I would say, as far as I'm concerned, it's fair to all concerned. And it gets a slam dunk for this leg of the test. Now let's move on to the third. Is it fair to all concerned? No, that's not that. Will it build goodwill and better friendship? This is the section that I could spend the longest on because every single one of my best friends, the people I could call right now and talk to about anything, all happen from youth sports. The same 5 guys on my 4th grade basketball team will be the same 5 guys standing beside me on my wedding day. I love those guys. Matter of fact, I'm going to a concert with them tonight. But that's just the natural environment that sports creates. You and your team versus everyone else. There is no better feeling than building your friendships through sports. And when the world around us is so disconnected, why don't we take a chance to team up, meet new people, connect? And a great opportunity to do that is right in front of us, and it gets a hole in one for this leg of the test. Now let's move on to the 4th and final leg. Is it beneficial to all? In this section, I think the stats speak for themselves because 73% of parents say they saw an increase in their mental health, their child's mental health. 88% say they saw an increase in their child's physical health. But it's not just these health benefits that we've seen. We've seen improved cognitive, emotional, and organizational skills which can be used in the classroom. But it's not just the students involved that are benefited, it's the grandparents and parents too. Some of those examples are improved sense of community, better bonds with children, and the joy and fulfillment of seeing your child learn and grow. So obviously everyone involved is benefited, and it gets a pass for the 4th and final leg of the test. So let's round third base, head home, and conclude. The Rotary 4-way test is vital to the improvement of our community, and I, just like everyone else hopefully, wants to see the young people in our community succeed, because it is an undoubted fact that the future of our country is in their hand. So, if we apply the 4-way test onto something like youth sports, we see that it checks every box. I mean, it did for me. It was true, it was fair, it built better friendships, and it was beneficial. So, well, what do we do from here? If we continue to apply the 4-way test onto the things that we think, say, and do, we can continue the improvement of those who follow. Thank you.
As you can see, the winning was very well deserved, and there were monetary gains from this as well. So I encourage anyone in the audience who has children who have the opportunity to do the 4-way test, here, I'll hold it, to be a part of that program.
Fantastic. And you did it.
Hey, don't stay out too late.
Okay, moving on to Junior World Affairs Council, we have Kathleen Gilbert here.
Can I have Ashrita Mulpuri and her club sponsor, Ms. Hirotia, to come on up? Okay, so Dr. Joe and I had spaghetti together last Thursday at the end of the year banquet for JWAC. And as he mentioned, both of our high schools were in the top 10 JWACs. And I just want to say a thank you for a moment to our sponsors. I was typing up the handbook for JWAC, kind of the expectations for the sponsors today, and it hit me just how much they have to do to support our kids. So thank you very much for everything you do to support our students. And Ashrita was chosen, and there was a big group who were nominated for this, as one of the 20 under 20 in the DFW area. And this is a group that really focuses on students who make their community a better place. So I wanted to share a few things that Ashrita does to make LD Bell and her school community a better place. So she is the president of the Junior World Affairs Council at LD Bell, and she's also the founder of the Model UN chapter at LD Bell. She is the founder and co-president of her school's DESI Student Association. She is also passionate about mental health accessibility, especially within the South Asian community. She hopes to be a psychiatrist and make sure that mental health is accessible to her community. She's going to be attending the University of Texas at Dallas next year. So congratulations for all your accomplishments, Ashrita.
Well done. Thank you so much. All right, now we get to honor our state level UIL athletes. Coach Fielder's here.
Yes, I just go ahead and walk over there and just go shoulder to shoulder right there. There you go, perfect.
Ooh,
Thank
some
you.
of them have
Good evening. I get the opportunity to come to y'all from time to time, and I will tell you that it's nights like this that are the most rewarding, to be able to celebrate these kids and their accomplishments. And from we've got a whole room full of them, but from February to now, we've had a lot of kids go to the state level in athletic competition. And you know, the size of the state of Texas and as many kids are involved. As a matter of fact, there's 251 6A schools that compete, and we have a whole bunch of kids right here that were at the top of their athletic event. So first, let's talk about the state champion LD Bell girls gymnastics team right here. Starting from left to right, Mackenzie Daniel, she's a junior. Mackenzie Holloway, a senior. Mackenzie's all-state and third on beam. Sarah Halp, she's a freshman. Victoria Jayasuriya, she's a freshman. Joy Leanne, a freshman, all-state and fourth on beam. Faith Loya, a junior. Distingue Lazingu, a freshman. Avery Ramsey, a sophomore. Cassidy Sanders, a sophomore. Maddie Thomas, a senior, state champion in vault and floor for the third year in a row, and a second time to be the state all-around champion. Ruth Toe, a freshman, all-state, third on floor. And Megan Wilcox, a junior. This is your girls gymnastics state champions. Gymnastics coaches, if y'all would come up, and I do want to add that the coach on this particular team is Debbie Williams. It's her 51st season at LD Bell. This is her 19th team championship, and she's had 61 individual state champions. So, congratulations to all of you.
Coach Williams, this is a pretty young team. I'm feeling pretty good about the next couple years. Yeah. Well done, ladies. And I also have to mention that you've done all this in a ramshackle kind of gymnastics environment, and as we get our gymnastics gyms and our new building up to speed, imagine what we can do.
Hey, I made them a promise. On Saturday. They made me knock on wood. I told the ladies if they won state, they would be the first to see the new gymnastics gym in the building. So now I got to find a way to pull that off.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Good. Okay, the next group. Trinity, we have two Trinity track athletes. On Saturday, they competed at the state track meet in Austin, and they are Caleb Adam, senior. Caleb got second in triple jump and fourth in high jump. And Chase Davis, a junior, third in the 300-meter hurdles, fourth in the 110 hurdles. And as I said, there are 251 6A schools, and all of these schools are going to put 3 or 4 kids per event. So we're talking about some of the best kids out of over 1,000 athletes. And I want to add something real quick with Caleb Adam. He is the defending state champion. And the other day I was at a ceremony they had. He signed to go to Ohio State as a track athlete.
That's great.
Caleb and Chase, we're very proud of both of you. Great job.
Very well done.
Come on up, boys. Okay, next we have LD Bell's track and field, the two guys that represented Bell at the state track meet on Saturday. We have Micaiah Kennedy and Jacob Anthony. Micaiah is a senior, and he is the state champion shot putter. Jacob is a junior, and he is the state champion triple jumper. And I'm going to tell you, as I and Randy and Ronald, as we were there watching these kids compete, it was really, really, really special that these two boys, that Jacob Anthony and Caleb Adam, they were competing for first and second that entire triple jump event. It was really a proud moment for me as an athletic director to see two kids that I represent and that were representing me and us down there competing. But congratulations on your state championships to both of you boys. Very proud of you.
It was a proud moment for me, too. I was at the band banquet on Saturday night, and you had sent me a picture. I went around the banquet showing everybody, look what happened today.
Awesome. Okay, next we have Bell Swim. These four boys, they qualified for the state meet, the state swim meet, in the boys 200 medley relay. And we are very, very proud of them. These boys, this is Crawford Shaw, a senior. Angelo Twapin, a junior. Maddox Weddle, a junior. And Andrew Thompson, a senior. Boys, congratulations. We're very proud of you. Congratulations, boys.
That was the first relay qualifier.
And by the way, that was the very first relay qualifier in Bell's swim history to get to the state meet. Congratulations. Now Trinity Wrestling. We have Mariana Humuli. She's a senior in third place at the state meet. She was also the defending champ. She was the state champion as a junior. We have Madeline Capetillo. She's a senior. And we have Alex Martinez, a junior. And these kids represented us at the state wrestling tournament a few months ago. Congratulations to all of you. We're very proud. Very good.
Do y'all want to come over to the...
Very good. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Trinity Baseball is still playing.
Yep.
They're going to the fourth round regional finals against Keller. So we're proud of them as well. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Does any board member, do you have anything to add?
What's the schedule? You know the schedule?
Yes, sir. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Go to the microphone.
Take the microphone.
Thank you.
Thursday and Friday, 7 p.m. at Weatherford College. And then Saturday, the F game was at 11 a.m. at Weatherford College. So all three games at Weatherford College. It's Trinity and Keller. 7 p.m. Thursday, 7 p.m. Friday, 11 a.m. VF game on Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what a fun night. Oh. You're the vice president. Okay, well, while we're clearing out the room, we have some presentation of certificates. Mr. Brown?
You'll do my part.
Yeah.
Yes, board member Fred Campos will present to Viridian Elementary PTA. $14,400 donation will be used to support various student and campus needs, including student t-shirts, field day activities, star snacks, and essential campus items. It will also be used to fund art and music grants for instructional materials and instruments, replace water station filters campus-wide, and support teacher and student hospitality initiatives. Melody Manns and Cassandra Ostenhout will be accepting the certificate, and it's not Melanie, it's just you. Very good.
Okay. They already did it.
You ready for the next one? Let's move on. You are also going to be giving. Is she out here?
Yeah, I think she's.
Let's wait a second.
We haven't rotated in yet.
New president. Our next will be our Sky Zone Hurst. Is recognized for a donation to STEM and School Library Department. This will be presented by President Julie Cole. It's a $2,000 donation. It will be used to help cover expenses associated with the HEB Reads program. And Kira and Diana Wilson will be accepting the certificate.
If you haven't checked out Sky Zone yet, please do so.
Thank you.
We also have $2,000 donation from the HEB retired school employees to our STEM and School Libraries Department. This will be used to help purchase books to hand out to students at HEB Reads program. And Dr. Kira Elledge is here, as well as Sherry Crawford, the new president of the retired school employee group. Thank you all. Our last donation is from the Gene and Jerry Jones Family Foundation. It's to HEB ISD Athletics. It will be presented by Becky Urett and Coach Fielder left, Dr. Johnson will accept. And this is $10,945 to be used for coaches, transportation, and security for the athletic department.
Okay, that takes us to open forum. Did we have any cards? Okay. And we do not need to adjourn to closed session?
No, ma'am.
All right, moving right along. We have the consent agenda, but I understand we have something to, is there something to remove from the consent agenda?
Yes. We would like to remove item 1015.
Okay, 10:15 will be removed from the consent agenda, brought back at a later time, right?
We can address it
After.
at 12:01. yeah.
Okay. So this is, we'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda with 10.15 removed.
I move to approve the consent agenda with the removal of 10.15.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the item removed. Please vote. It's not coming up. Everybody in?
It said that I voted aye.
He's clicking on it.
It says successfully voted.
Yeah, it says successfully voted.
Yep. All those in favor, show hands. All right, motion passes. Oh, and now it comes up. Okay. So moving on to reports and presentations. We have, first up, 11.01, disbursements for the month of April 2026. I'm sorry. I think it's
It comes back at 12.
already in the reports. Okay, so anybody have any questions about disbursements? All right, 11.02 is employments, resignations, and retirements. Did anybody have any questions for Ms. Tuttle? 11.03 is restricted dates calendar. Ms. Tuttle is making her way.
So just as a reminder, board policy DEC regulation requires that the Human Resources Department annually develop calendars outlining dates that need specific approval for use of personal leave. And so what we're sharing with you this evening in this information item is the appropriate restricted leave calendars for each specific employee group. And just as a reminder, we do have a process that employees can use to request use of personal leave on one of these days, and we do have a one-time life event list that we provide to all employees so that they know what will and will not be considered. And this is what allows us to make sure that educational operations and district operations continue. Questions?
No, looks like we're good. Thank you. 11.04 strategic plan update. Dr. Hopkins, Mrs. Rhodes, and Mrs. Hollander.
No, you're fine. Good evening.
Good evening.
So we are excited to bring to you the strategic plan update. Am I good to click now? Okay. So this strategic plan update is going to cover in 3 parts. Our first is priority student success. So our priority student success goal 1.4 is the district and all campuses will achieve a 97% or more student attendance rate to support student academic growth. As you can see, based on the chart, we are still approaching target but have not met our 97% target. So just like we talked about last year, over the past 4 academic years, we have consistently fallen short of meeting that targeted ADA that's listed in our strategic plan. And as we know, whenever our students aren't in class, they lack that opportunity to learn. State impact, that's how our funding is calculated. And it also just creates opportunities of lack of engagement where students can widen that gap academically. So last year, we put an attendance task force into place to begin looking at our attendance rates to determine what was the root cause for our attendance and the work that we needed to do so we could better target our students. We shared the information in early August after the task force met through a Friday update. But just as a reminder, some of our action steps that we have taken and completed were standardization and alignment across all campuses with our attendance practices. We provided training to our assistant principals on attendance practices, just a refresher of what we should be doing for each campus. And we created resources and communication documents for assistant principals. We had some new ones in the district and some new leaders, so we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of our practice with scripts and resources that they
can use. A new tool that we brought in was support services and mediation. We partnered with Tarrant County Dispute Resolution, which is a mediation service provided for our families, and they could work to, oftentimes in the family, not with the school, but within the family, to create solutions for some of their struggles with attendance. Also helped with our truancy officers whenever our students did get to the place of truancy within our district. We also had a goal of recognitions and incentives within our campus, and this is one that we're going to continue to work on. We weren't able to bring it to fruition, but we're going to continue to work on ways that we can reward and incentivize students for their good attendance. So for the 25-26 attendance impact, I'll bring the chart back up, but the first through the fourth 6 weeks, we were doing great. We were above target where we had been. So although we continued to see the same dips occur in our attendance, we were definitely above our previous years. And then in the fifth 6 weeks, we noticed that we did not meet or achieve where we had been in the past. And so when we started to look into this, and I worked with John Hollis, our director of PEAMS, to analyze attendance, one of the things that we noticed through health services is that we had an extended illness season this year. Typically, we see that dip right there in the fourth 6 weeks because that's when flu and other respiratory illnesses begin to hit. And we didn't see that dramatic hit this year. It just kind of extended out. So what we will be doing is after the school year is over, I'll share with you our final attendance data where we anticipate seeing our final 6 weeks bounce back a bit from the fifth 6 weeks. So our goal moving into next school year is that over the summer, our attendance task force will meet again. We're going to look at what we did. We'll have another one of those evaluation cycles. We'll PDSA our practice, continue to look for root causes with our attendance. We continue to have higher attendance than surrounding districts. But, you know, in HEB, we love our lofty goals, and we're going to continue to aspire to achieve those goals. So once we find out the implementations or the recommendations from the task force, then we'll bring those recommendations back to you through a Friday update at the beginning of the school year so that you'll be aware of what we're working on. Obviously, we all know that it's going to be a coordinated effort across the district through leadership, teachers, students, and families, but we're going to continue to work so that we can drive those attendance gains for the 26-27 school year. Any questions about attendance before?
No, it looks like we're good.
Thank you.
Good evening. I will be reviewing Quality Indicator 5 under Student Success, Learning Opportunities Beyond Core Academics. Goal 5.1, all campuses will provide student opportunities to participate in clubs, organization, and enrichment activities. This is a goal that is asked in our district-wide survey to students in 6th, 8th, and 11th grade. And of those students participating in that survey, our target was 95%. And the actual, as those students said, 95% of them said that they do have that opportunity on those campuses. So our goal is met for this year. Goal 5.2, 60% or more of all varsity athletic teams will advance to postseason competition. Our target was 60%. Our actual is 43% of our teams went postseason this year, so we're below target this year. We were below also last year, so 43% of our athletic teams advanced to postseason in the 25-26 school year, not meeting the district's 60% goal and indicating a further opportunity for us to strengthen athlete development and consistency in seasonal preparation. What we're going to do is to close that gap is to continue to build long-term program success. The district will prioritize coaching effectiveness and deepening athletic development at all levels, aligning feeder programs to ensure athletes are well prepared for postseason competition, and focusing on overall program consistency to support and increase advancement rates. Following last year's internal performance reviews, the athletic department implemented targeted strategies. That review process included analyzing our performance data, evaluating coaching practices and consistency, assessing alignment between our feeder programs in our high schools, and identifying strengths, gaps, and areas for improvement. From that review process, our key priorities became professional learning for coaches, expanding training opportunities for athletes, and strengthening communication between the high school and the feeder programs. Targeted coaching development. Out of the 110 high school coaches, all of them completed 8 hours of specific sport professional development. Head coaches led vertical alignment planning meetings with feeder programs to establish the expectations, practice structures, and skill development, and this is 9th through 12th grade. For this coming school year, we're going to continue to build on that prior work by continuing to raise the program expectations. As you can see tonight, that we are highly competitive. So we're going to continue that competitiveness as we enter in a new district. We're going to use our performance data to guide goal setting by coach and by sport. So each coach will set their goal and how they are participating in us reaching our 60% goal. And we're going to identify those programs with postseason potential and align that support accordingly. So those students that came nearly close to going postseason, we're going to provide that support to help them meet that goal for next year. Enhance off-season athlete training. So for the 25-26 year, district-funded summer program removed barriers for our students in 7th through 12th grade, allowing them to have access to strength and conditioning Monday through Thursday across all sports, and then sport-specific skill sessions twice a week, led by that coach for that particular sport. For this year, we're going to expand that participation through targeted communication. Communication is already out to our feeder schools. We're going to put it on social media, and we've streamlined the registration process to make it user-friendly for families to sign up for this during the summertime. We're going to increase access to clinics and skill development as we come online with our new gyms. This will give us more access. Strengthen feeder program alignment. This year, ongoing meetings were held between the athletic coordinators and coaching staff, and that was to target support of our programs and increase focus on vertical alignment across all levels, and then head coaches leading communication and expectations across the feeder systems. So they were leading their expectations for their particular sports for coaching. For this year, we're going to continue building that cohesive system-wide approach to athlete development, strengthening the alignment by modeling expectations. So inviting those coaches in on the courts and in the field to identify those growth steps in our feeder program so they're well aware of our system when they enter high school. And then increasing head coach presence at the junior high practices so they can see that modeling in live practice so they can correct misconceptions in the moment, and game so they can go back and plan on what's next steps. The data reflects a program that continues to compete at high levels while navigating varying district competition. When we started this, we were at 68% advancement in a different district, and then the last 2 years, we've been resilient and competing where 19 of 44 teams advanced this year, 20 of 44 teams advanced last year in a highly competitive district. And we had a growth measure, our margin, where 3 of our teams almost went postseason, coming in right at 5th place. As we transition into 6A Region 1 District 8, we are continued to the commitment of high standards. We're really excited to be in this district. So we have a clear emphasis on development and vertical alignment. Our 60% target is well positioned in our new district, and we're continuous improvement. We've laid the strong foundation for the coming year. Any questions about 5.2? 5.3, all varsity band, choir, and orchestra groups will earn a Division I rating at UIL. Last year, our target was at 90%. We exceeded that target at 97%. The target this year is 95%, and we met that target. Out of 58 programs, 55% of them, or 55 of them, went and earned a UIL Division I rating. So we met that target.
Right.
Any questions?
No.
5.6, all secondary students will have access to travel opportunities for the purpose of cultural enrichment. Last year, we were at a 7%. This year's goal was, it was 8% the first year as a baseline. Last year, it was at 9%. This year, it's at 10%. We exceeded that goal of 24%, and our status is green because we met that goal. I will explain why. So when we didn't meet that goal last year, we developed some action steps. So the first thing was to establish clear district-wide criteria for qualifying travel opportunities, expand equitable access by replicating successful programs across all campuses, and implement consistent tracking via Laserfish, which is what we did. So by improving the consistency, we thought that the cultural experience also included an overnight experience because students may have visited Austin or Houston, and that is a cultural experience of our students leaving outside of our local area, including out-of-state and international trips. We had increased performance-based experience where students were able to participate this year, and then we expanded some equitable access of programs that we could replicate at the junior high and high school levels this year. We have a more accurate monitoring system with Laserfish. It gives us the most up-to-date information. It's entered of student participation, reporting on trip types, available opportunities, and overall student involvement. We're going to continue to refine the criteria to ensure alignment with district goals and student outcomes. We're going to leverage the participation data to identify those gaps and expand access wherever we can for students to have that opportunity. And we're going to scale successful programs to ensure sustainability and system-wide implementation. Any questions?
Katina, is this an anomaly, or is this something that we think will maintain standard, or is this the Macy's effect that affected a lot of students?
We did have a lot of performance-based this year. So it could be, we'll see for next year. We did include the overnight, so we'll be able to see. Good question, though.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a look at our family and community partnerships. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay, we are going to look at this first goal is stakeholder engagement. So I want to make sure that we, I think I went too far. Hold on. There we go. Okay, stakeholder satisfaction is the first one. So what I want to share about this, our goal of 1.4 was 90% or more of the survey respondents will assign the district a positive rating on community partnership surveys. What I want to point out is the district survey goes out every year, but we took it a step further. And we felt like we needed to survey those who we actually have the partnerships with and not wait for them to take the survey as a community member, but target the community partnerships. And so we did, our target was 90, and our actual ended up being 97, up from last year.
Very good.
The next three are stakeholder engagement. So this has to do with our volunteers, our campus champions, and our adopters. So this first one is maintain 8,000 or more volunteers per year. It is a lofty goal because we did take a look at our our adopters from our volunteers from years past, and we've been working with the Raptor system. And so with that comes a lot of, we're just learning a whole lot. So what we want to do this year is really focus on our PTAs and some of the other groups and continue to define what an active volunteer is, but we are trending upward. It was 60.
This requires the volunteer, after they do the volunteer work, to then enter the fact that they did it.
That's exactly
right.
right.
And I think that is where we lose them.
It is, and I know that we've still got the quality that we've always had.
Yeah.
We are also looking at the process that we're following with our volunteers, and they have badges, and we've provided those badges, and those badges have meant something more to some people than they actually should. And so we're working with our safety and security department to say, okay, what does it really need to look like? And people can't just flash the badge to get into school. They've got to show their ID. And so we're really kind of defining this. But last year was at 6,500, and we're now up to 6,550. So it is trending upward.
Good.
The end, your target was kind of high.
Yes, it is. I was at 80,000. We had a formatting issue that did not go too well, but yes, I think that is it's a format. It's 8,000, not 80,000. But hey, I'll take 80,000 volunteers. I really will. Okay. 200 or more adopters per year. We had about 212 last year. We had 212 last year, and that has stayed the same. And so we have met, actually exceeded that target. And then Campus Champions is the last one. We also, that target is 100%, but we want at least one adopter per school, and we are at 97. What we want to do with this, just because we want 100%, of course, we have at least two and possibly a third event that we are going to really focus on. It's the faith-based event that Dr. Harrington holds every year, and we have a booth at the Chamber Expo. Those are the locations that we set up, and we encourage people to come by and adopt our schools and or become campus champions. We'll go ahead and let you know that my team is looking at those two titles, those two things, because is it an adopter or is it a campus champion? And so we are reviewing and defining what those two are, and they may become one. I think that campus champion ends up defining a little bit more about what we need, and that's adopting or championing the whole campus. Teachers included, not just volunteering for the kids. So my team is looking at several things, and I will bring this information back to you next year. Any questions?
No. Thank you all very much. Okay, next up is 11.05 pre-K update. Joey Martinack.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me. Tonight I'm going to give you an update on our pre-K program, focusing on growth and impact and what that means for our kids in our district moving forward. Our pre-K program is directly aligned to our priority of student success. One of the things we're going to talk to tonight, and focusing on that early literacy and early numeracy. And of course, our goal is that all students meet those end of the year targets in English and in Spanish. So tonight, focusing on growth, pre-K enrollment and early registrations are increasing. Demonstrating a growing demand for what we do here in HEB, ISD, and our early childhood program. So our family demand for what we do is evident, and it's evident in our numbers, it's evident through conversations, it's evident at HEB Reads, through the conversations that you have with families. So I'm proud to be able to share that with you tonight. So when we look at our enrollment data, looking back at 23-24, after House Bill 3 was passed, that is when we could start to register students beginning April 1st. So we saw that we had about 495 registrations in April. And then if you look at that snapshot date in October, we were seating 925 students. In 24-25, our April registrations grew to 636 with an enrollment snapshot of 999. That year was with the year that we hit the 1,000 club. We joined kindergarten and some of the other grade levels because we actually served 1,029 students in 24-25. 25-26, April registrations grew to 674, with our snapshot down just a little bit of 939 students. So our numbers as of today at about 4:45, we're sitting at 822 registrations. So we have a key trend here, and that families are not just enrolling, they're enrolling earlier. That's a great place to be because that gives us time to plan for the future and to put things in place to see if our numbers are going to continue to grow, or are we going to maintain these numbers after our July registration.
Yeah, because if we get that typical 300 student growth.
Yes, ma'am, we are ready. Okay, so some of the things that we did differently this year is we did move pre-K kickoff from April to March. The why behind that is we felt like our families needed some additional time just to gather all the documentation needed to register for pre-K. Get your shot records up to date and get your original birth certificate and all the things that we asked them to gather to enroll in school. And so I do think that that helped our families to be more prepared. April 1st, they had all the documents needed. We combined the Pat May registration for state-funded and tuition-based families. We expanded district-level advertising. I worked with PR and marketing, and they did a phenomenal job this year because I was trying to think, how can we reach families in a different manner? Is there anything that we are missing? And they had helped me create an interest form. So we put the interest form on Facebook, and it just said, are you interested in HEB ISD pre-K? At time of kickoff, we had 250 families that filled out the interest form, and I was really impressed because I was just expecting, parents are going to like it on Facebook, but they're not actually going to take the time out to fill out the form. 250 families, so then that gave us their contact information. We were able to then email them, ask them if they needed any help, do they need translations, things like that. As of today, we've had 450 families that have filled out that interest form. Some of those still haven't registered, so then we have their email address and their phone number, and we're able to make that personalized phone call to them to help them get registered. So our plan for growth. We had 37 units in 23-24. We had 24-25 school year, we had 48. I did want to address, I had mentioned 2 slides earlier that in 25-26 we saw a decrease in enrollment, but we added a unit. We added the unit because in 24-25 our dual language numbers had met capacity. And so we responded to that in 25-26 and opened up a dual language unit. And then anticipated to open up 1 unit at Veridian Elementary due to the increased enrollment in that area. So, like Julie said, historically we see a large number of registrations in July and, those summer months. So hopefully by strengthening our efforts of early registration, we have most of our parents on the dashboard and ready, they're registered and ready to go. But if the demand is there in July, we are prepared to add units as needed. So we always know that data is important. Most importantly, what we see is our growth is making a difference because our kids who attended HEB ISD pre-K are outperforming those kids who didn't. So 60% compared to 41 at the beginning of the year. It increased to 70% at middle of the year. We do not have end of the year dibbles to compare that to for this year, but I'm anticipating that number trending in that direction. So what that tells us is pre-K is not just growing, but it's working. So strong starts equals strong futures. And as I saw all of these kiddos stand up here tonight, I thought, I bet they all attended HEB ISD pre-K. So not only academic, but in UIL too. So thank you for your continued support of what we do with our earliest learners. Do you have any questions? See some familiar faces
Yeah, one
on
of my
that.
favorite pre-Ks is in the picture.
I saw that smile. Any questions?
Joey, if we have
Yes, sir.
50 units, what's our maximum kid enrollment count?
Thank you for asking. We have 1,114 seats because when we look at those 50 units, within the 50 units, we have 6 blended units, and those are capped out at 17.
What is the number that would make us add another unit?
That's a really good question, and really, Mr. Brown, whenever I'm looking at it, I'm looking at where we need units. Because our goal is to place our kids on their home campus or a surrounding, the next door campus, because we don't transport. And so really what we're doing right now is monitoring, and Ms. Clark is helping me with that, is just looking at where the numbers are falling. And then if we do not have room at that school, does a neighboring school have capacity for us to place those families? And then we try to place them together if we need to place them on another school. But to answer that question, what I'm looking at right now, we still have 100 kids pending. That's still a lot to make, some really definite moves with opening a new unit. But out of the 292 seats available, 70 of those are dual language. So we're just kind of monitoring the numbers.
Do we have an idea from a capacity management standpoint, how many units we can actually add until we have no more room for additional units? Like if we're looking forward, the growth that we're seeing, what are we looking at next year, 2 years, 3 years from now? I mean, how close to maximum capacity are we on units?
Well, I think since we're building new elementary schools, we have lots of room. That's a great question. I do know that through the conversations that we've had is that with the new builds, that could allow us some potential new classrooms to open up. So, but are they where we need them to be? And that'll be a conversation that we need to continue to look at so that we keep our littlest learners at their home campus and with siblings. And try not to separate them. I think that, I know that I was telling Ms. Clark that if we got to 600 in April, we need to look at opening units. That number made me real nervous, and then so we're just continuing to monitor it. We do know that we need to open a unit at Veridian.
So Joey, just a follow-up question that you kind of alluded to, is all of this growth evenly amongst our districts, or is it in certain pockets?
I would love to say that whenever I go to my coordinator meetings at Region 11 and I report out our numbers, the school districts that are represented there are not in comparison to our numbers. They just go, really?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a really great problem to have.
It is.
Because our surrounding districts are talking about decreases, and here we are planning for increases. It's just really exciting.
But just to be more specific on what I was asking, is it evenly amongst our district,
Our
or are
schools.
there pockets that you're seeing more than others? And
There
I may
are
be getting in the
pockets,
weeds, but
there are
okay.
pockets for sure, and then there's some areas that you just go, okay, I'm not seeing the numbers there just yet, but are they just coming in July? And there are some particular schools, the families just typically, they register in July.
Yeah.
And so that's hard to predict. We are, I'm trying to look for patterns and things like that. But I know that we're ready. We do have some, we can open up units if needed.
Are we seeing proportional growth between our state-based kids and our tuition-based kids?
No, sir.
Okay, so where is it leaning heavily?
Right, and state-based, and with teachers now receiving free, that being a qualifier for free pre-K, that has reduced our tuition-based numbers. There's still a need for tuition-based seats, but the number has gone, so a number would be, we usually typically filled at 155 tuition-based seats with a wait list, because we could keep a wait list for tuition-based. Now we're right about 100 seats.
Are all of those being seated or?
Yes, we have seated all tuition-based students on their home campus, except for one campus we had to offer, you know what, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, not their home campus, at their campus of choice.
Great questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Mrs. Martinek.
You'll work your magic. Okay.
Okay, we're going to move on to our action items. We have 12.01 is the item removed from the consent agenda.
Yes, ma'am. So after last week, as you know, we brought this item for a first read to amend the contract with Huckabee between the owner and the architect. And based on some questions that arose last week, and then after conversations held with our bond counsel, as well as the city of Euless, we have made some changes to this. So we asked that this be pulled so we could address these changes and basically do this as a one read now. So the main change, of course, was the allowable use of general obligation bond funds. Our bond counsel told us, we cannot use general obligation bond funds to construct a concession stand on a field that seats 1,500 people. So we will have to fund that, the construction, but also the architect fees. We'll have to fund that out of local funds or the locally defined project funds. So that's the main thing we are asking. We are also changed it after speaking with the city of Euless about the possibility of reducing the scope of that project to reduce the cost, as there is some opportunity there, we think, based on, for Trinity, based off the proximity of the baseball, softball concessions and whatnot. They are willing to listen to us about maybe reducing the scope. So, but again, this is just a change to amend Trinity, or Huckabee's contract is all we're asking for here.
So what I don't have here is a clear understanding of what our actual item is and what the motion is.
Did we not hand that, pass those out? Oh, it's a paper copy. I'm sorry. Yes, we brought some additional amended, not amended, but
Thank you.
changed. Sorry, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that first right off the bat.
You see the motion? Oh, that's the one we removed, yeah.
The fee for Huckabee still will remain at 5.4%, and it will be based off of whatever new scope
Ty,
cost
will
we
you
come up
hold that
with.
up again so I can see what it is that you held up? Because I don't think I have that.
It looked like this.
Okay.
Mine's in yellow, but there are new recommendations on that.
Oh, it's the very top. Oh. So
Dobie,
here it
as
is.
far as the process here, how are we deciding what the scope of Huckabee's work is going to be? Are they giving us options of what this could look like, or is the district coming together?
We're
to decide what to ask for?
we're gonna visit with the city of Euless, the planning committee. We're gonna see what they will allow us to do, and then maybe bring some options with cost, and then Huckabee's cost will still remain at 5.4%, their fee, but it'll be based off whatever scope we decide on. And then, of course, we will bring that back to the board for approval before we move forward with any of that. But
Okay, so at least you're envisioning a scenario here where the board maybe presented potential options.
yes, that's kind of what we're looking at, because what was presented before was kind of the full-blown deal with the full concessions, bathrooms for a 1,500-seat stadium, the whole 9 yards. So we're looking at something we can do maybe that won't cost quite as much money.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's this recommendation right here.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, is there any other questions or discussion? Okay, I'll accept a motion.
I move the board approve the amendment number 11 to the AIA B 102-2007 standard form of agreement between the owners of HEB ISD and the architect Huckabee and Associates to allow Huckabee and Associates to begin providing design options, opinions of probate costs based on these design options as presented.
There's a motion and a second to approve amendment number 11 to AIA B 102-2007 standard form of agreement between owner HBISD and architect Huckabee and Associates, Inc. to allow Huckabee and Associates to begin providing design options and options for probable costs based on those design options. Please vote. And since we're not working after we do the electronic vote, tonight I'd also like to take a hand vote. So, all those in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. So that takes us to 12.02, approval of submissions of application for low attendance days waiver.
Okay, this is our standard application we look at each year. If we do have missed school days or low attendance days, our missed school days were actually covered by minutes that we had built up, so we didn't need that this year. But we are going to submit this to TEA asking for a low attendance waiver. We had one day, January 23rd, at 3 campuses, Euless Junior High, North Euless Elementary, and Lakewood Elementary, that did drop below the 10% threshold that allows us to submit that. And those were days surrounding the days that we actually were out. And as you know, some parents, they won't send their kiddos to school anticipating that we may call it off early or do whatever. But so
well,
we
and
did
that's also
that.
the time of year when sickness is.
And sickness on top of that.
Okay, so I have a question regarding this. Is it typical, I mean, you're saying those 3 schools were 10% off. So have these 3 schools also, has there been issues with attendance overall through the year with these 3 schools? Or,
I don't
you're looking at 3
believe so.
schools out of all of our schools, and we just
I mean,
have
I
these
think they
3?
are a little bit lower than in the past, but I think all our schools are a little bit lower on attendance than they have been in the past. Just a little, not a lot. But.
So when we submit this waiver, does it change our funding? Is that what it does?
Yeah, it excludes these days from being in the funding calculation as an attendance day. Because if they include these at 10% lower than last year's average rate, then it's going to drop our attendance rate for that campus overall, which equals money.
Yeah.
Have we done this in the past?
Yes.
Every year.
Every year?
Every year.
With
Every year that we miss our missed school days or have low attendance days. They're 2 separate things. We just didn't have any missed school days this year so far.
Right.
Hopefully we won't in the next
Just
one.
change depending upon where the illness is.
I don't remember this per se last year, but
Yeah, we did. We did both. We did missed school days and low attendance last year also. About this same time of year. Usually it's in May when we do it. Because it's got to be turned in before July 1st, I believe.
Okay, any other questions?
Is it typically approved?
Most of the time, you never know with TEA. We have to submit all kinds of stuff, newspaper articles on weather, and just, last year they made us submit call logs for all these campuses, of all the different call logs of parents calling in of why their kid missed and this and that. So typically, yes, they do, but they may not. I mean, there's never, not guaranteed. But we can ask.
Okay, very good. I'll accept a motion.
I move the board approve the submission of the 2025-2026 application for low attendance day waiver for all instructional days that meet state criteria for low attendance, and authorize superintendent of schools and his designee to submit the waiver application on behalf of HEB ISD as presented.
There's a motion and a second to approve the submission of the 25-26 application for low attendance days waiver for all instructional days that meet the state criteria for low attendance, and authorizes the superintendent of schools and his designee to submit the waiver application on behalf of HEB ISD. Please vote. Also, please vote by hand. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have 12.03, approval of network equipment for Trinity High School replacement campus athletic area. Mr.
Good evening,
Turbo.
Board. Glad to see you again. In April, we bought a similar item to you for approval of network connection equipment for Hurst Hills and for the Thay Blue Family Support Center. So you can tell we're getting near the end of this particular project with Trinity. So this will provide the same type of equipment so we can connect to the network.
So have we bolstered this up a little bit because the athletic area includes the, what's the word I'm looking for? The shelter. And I know that sometimes in those more secured areas, it's harder to get,
Signal?
onto the signal, yeah.
I can't answer that question.
Dr. Hopkins, do you know the answer to this? And maybe I'm all wet, but.
Sure. So we did. We actually put in repeaters, is the term. So we have repeaters there. I asked the same question when I had the opportunity to tour the arena not very long ago, just to make sure that not only did we have appropriate Wi-Fi access, but we also had cell coverage.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay.
Wait a second. Did that include coverage? So that includes the MAC also, because that was always a problem. Cell coverage in the.
Put repeaters in there recently.
Did we solved that issue?
I can get you an answer for that. I can't speak to if we've made any upgrades to the existing MAC, but I'll find out for you.
Yeah, I know that was an issue.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, I'll accept a motion.
I move that the board approve the purchase of network equipment for Trinity High School replacement campus athletic area from NetSync Network Solutions as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the purchase of network equipment for Trinity High School replacement campus athletic area from NetSync Network Solutions as presented. Please vote. And also, all those in favor? Thank you. Motion passes. That takes us to other business. Is there a board member that would like to include a piece of business on a future board agenda? All right. No second closed session. So that takes us to adjournment. I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
We are adjourned.